Labor trafficking should be a concern for law enforcement executives for many reasons. It often reflects the presence of organized crime in jurisdictions. It can also entail money laundering, racketeering, tax evasion, fraud in foreign labor contracting, fair housing violations, theft of benefits, and immigration violations. In short, it is a catalyst for numerous illegal activities. Because of the covert nature of labor trafficking and the high probability of investigative case overlap, it is important that law enforcement agencies develop clear and consistent labor trafficking response strategies, victim support protocols, and interagency collaborative methods. In order to make this a reality, it is imperative that law enforcement executives are committed to making human and labor trafficking an investigative priority. An important step to accomplishing this goal is identifying and setting clear expectations and performance measures. Labor trafficking is difficult to detect, and cases do not always follow a conventional investigative timeline. Detectives may not work a case for months and then may spend a long time on only one or two cases. Success in labor trafficking cases involves more than arrests and convictions. It is essential that both qualitative and quantitative measures are considered to more accurately summarize investigative successes and shortfalls. This will require redefining what constitutes success. Example performances may include the number of victims interviewed, recovered and/or referred to services, the quality of services provided to victims, relationship building with community partners and federal agencies, and increased positive interactions and enhanced trust between law enforcement and the community. In order to most effectively investigate cases of labor trafficking, it is essential that law enforcement agencies collaborate with other local, state, federal, and tribal law enforcement partners and prosecutors to ensure the successful identification, investigation, and prosecution of these heinous and hard-to-detect crimes. Importantly, community-based organizations are often the best-placed stakeholders to identify and report labor trafficking. Establishing collaborative relationships will provide law enforcement access to crime and victim identification that might otherwise not be available to them. Establishing collaborative relationships will help strengthen victim support and recovery, the primary objective during these investigations. Some example organizations include anti-human trafficking groups, faith-based organizations, youth development groups, services for elderly individuals, LGBTQ-specific agencies, cultural and ethnicity-based organizations, domestic violence and sexual assault agencies, state and federal departments of labor, and immigrant and day labor groups. It's best to establish these relationships before you encounter a victim, so that the groundwork is already in place when you need the help. Collaboration is not always easy, but is necessary to ensure that victims' needs are met. Service providers are critically important to the core of a multidisciplinary team. Law enforcement partners need to find ways to build trust with service providers so that they can work together effectively to support victims once cases are discovered. Labor trafficking is a clear and present danger in many communities nationwide. By knowing the victim indicators, commonalities of labor trafficking and criminal organizations, and proven investigative and collaborative strategies, law enforcement personnel will be better prepared to identify and investigate cases of labor trafficking occurring within their communities.